What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Chaos. My name is vlad, the-tek, and today is the 1,000 subscriber special. We actually passed 1,000 subscribers 2-3 days ago, somewhere in there. So by the time you're watching this, we actually have about 1,005 of you guys who have, for whatever reason, decided to watch my videos. Thank you. I don't understand. Now, I had a different video plan for today, and honestly, I probably should have done this video like 2 days ago. You know, when I actually passed 1,000 subscribers, I should have had something ready beforehand, but whatever. I also would have used YouTube's like subscriber count thing to show you guys that, hey, I've hit 1,000 subscribers, but unfortunately my internet's broken today. And I honestly don't know if it's going to be back up in time for me to actually put this video out, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll figure something out to make sure this video goes out on time, because now I'm eligible for monetization. But originally I had recorded a video for the 1,000 subscribers special that I was supposed to be editing right now, but I can't do that because the footage got corrupted while I'm trying to get ready for a new job that I literally start tomorrow. I was having trouble trying to figure out what to talk about, and I only really came up with 2 things. Sorry. But I still want to do like a live stream if my internet's fixed by then, hopefully. But then that live stream is probably going to be, first off, I'm going to continue the live stream for Detention. I almost forgot what that game was called. And I'm also going to do a live stream for the Library of Runa / Lobotomy Corporation Sims game. So if you guys want to see your favorite Project Moon characters from Library of Runa or Lobotomy Corporation featured in The Sims, let me know in the comment section down below or over on Discord. And if you have The Sims and you would like to go ahead and create a couple of characters for me to download, that'd be helpful. Just upload them to the gallery and let me know what you named the file. But anyways, we're going to talk about the 2 things today. The first one being the first time I ever wrecked a car, and you would not expect how old I was. In fact, I don't remember how old I was. Hang on, let me text somebody. Hopefully my mom gets back to me real quick, because I can't remember how old I was. I was like, when most people wreck cars, they don't really wreck them until they're like, you know, at least a teenager. And surprisingly enough, I haven't gotten into an accident since I've reached driving age. So this lets you know just how old I was. I really wasn't even old enough to drive, nor did I have any intention of actually driving a car that day. This is just proof that sometimes, even if you're a gifted child, you can still do stupid things. This is probably, hands down, the dumbest thing I've ever done. Hey, my mom got back to me. I was apparently 8 years old. The dumbest thing I've ever done. So I was 8 years old, and at this point, we were living, me, my mom, and my 2 brothers were living in Kentucky. I forgot what kind of car she drove. It was like it was either like called we referred to it as like either the Cougar or the Jaguar, one of those 2. I don't think it was a Jaguar. I think it was a Cougar. It was a cheaper car, and Jaguars I think are really expensive. But anyways, it was a white car, and I remember that we were going to school in Kentucky. I believe we lived in Louisville. By the way, don't recommend it. Don't ever move to Kentucky. Never go there. In fact, if we can just burn it to the ground and just start over, I think we would all benefit. I also think the same thing about Missouri, even though I live in it. Let me move out of Missouri, then we'll just burn it to the ground and just start anew. Don't do that. Don't. I do not condone arson. Also, don't do any of the things that I'm mentioning in this video. This is literally for entertainment purposes only. So every morning we would wake up at an obscenely early hour because, you know, for some reason, in a farmer town. I don't think Louisville's a farmer town. Whatever. We wake up at the crack of dawn because that's pretty much the only thing that happens in Kentucky is farming. That's literally 3 things you talk about in Kentucky. You talk about Christian topics, you know. My cat just passed in front of my light. You talk about good old Christian topics, you know, Jesus, how hot your sister is, and corn. Christian topics. Literally, this was a place where in order to pass a certain grade, you had to take a farmer safety course. No joke. Look, my cat's in the background. I believe she's trying to get into the dresser drawers, aren't you? Stop that. Anyways, it was this tiny little community in Kentucky. It took about 30 minutes for me just to get to school. So we woke up early, and my mom drove us to school. And every morning I remember she would have coffee. She would feed us breakfast because she didn't want us eating breakfast at school for whatever reason. Or actually, I can't remember. But I think I remember distinctly we didn't eat breakfast at school until I was at least... It was right before I went to high school. So, for the most part, when we were in Kentucky, we ate breakfast at home. Then we would go outside No, I specifically would go outside. It's hard to remember this stuff. I was 8 at the time. I would go outside with my mom, and I would sit in the back seat, and she would start the car to warm the engine up. But I would sit out in the car in the winter. She would start the car, turn the heater on, and the car would start to warm up. And after a few minutes of warming up, she'd come back out, put the car in gear, back it up, and drive down this driveway. It was a pretty long gravel driveway, and the driveway went uphill, and the part of the driveway that led straight to the house, it was a good few feet. I don't remember how far exactly. I want to say it was probably about 30-40 feet, somewhere in there. It was a long distance between the edge of this hill that was at this steep incline, and then it went, yeah. So there was a long, basically what I'm trying to tell you is that the house we lived on was on a hill, and that hill had a very steep incline, about like that. And at the very bottom of this hill was a ditch that ended right before the road. But yeah, as I mentioned, every morning in the winter, I would sit in the car. My mom would start it, warm the car up, all that stuff. And I always noticed how she would actually put the car in gear and like pull it into reverse. And as a kid, I didn't know that when you put the car in reverse, it would automatically start moving. And that's going to be very important here in a couple of seconds. So what happened one day was my mom started the car. She went back inside again, just leaving me there because I'd never do anything wrong. So I thought to myself, wouldn't it be nice if my mom just came out and just looked over and just saw that the car was already in reverse? She would probably like the fact that I thought about her and I did something nice for her and she didn't have to do it. It's just a small gesture to just put the car in reverse. Yeah, this was an old car. You could actually put the car into gear without touching the brake. Nowadays, you can't do that with automatic transmissions. The car just won't allow you to do it. But you could back when I lived in Kentucky. So I pulled the shifter back, put it into reverse, and I'll be damned if the damn thing didn't start moving. And like any normal 8 or 9-year-old, I panicked. Doing some quick thinking in my head, I'm thinking, okay, there's got to be a brake somewhere. But unfortunately, I'm 8. I can't see over the steering wheel, so I'm sitting in the car, holding onto the steering wheel for dear life, screaming my head off, like you do. And I reach down and I'm trying to hit something that feels like a brake. End up hitting the gas pedal. Which goes without saying, if you hit a gas pedal when you're in reverse, when you don't want to be, things are just going to get worse. Next thing I know, I'm vertical. I'm leaned back, like this. Screaming, crying, because I'm 8. Next thing I know, my mom is running down the hill. Well, actually, I didn't see her run down the hill, but the next thing I know, I look out the window, my mom opens the door, pulls me out, takes me to the babysitter who's literally across the road. That was a fun time. And my mom was scared, and when she remembers me doing this, she's like, all I remember, I remember her telling people about how her car got wrecked. And then it was like, and the way she remembers it is like, she turned the car on, she left me in the car because I don't really cause a whole lot of trouble. And then she went inside to do something, and the next thing she hears is the car engine revving up. She goes outside just in time to see the car just whoop. Like, can you imagine what must have been going on in my mom's mind? The things that could have happened. Like, this ditch was not that far off from the street. If somehow I managed to hop the ditch, I would have gone into the street, and things could have been far worse. But yeah, the story ends by my mom calling a tow truck. The tow truck pulls the car out. Luckily, the car, I don't believe, was all that badly damaged. Maybe the rear bumper. I honestly can't remember. I would honestly have to talk to my mom, but I didn't bother to do that, except to figure out how old I was when I wrecked that car. But that was the only car I've ever wrecked. Seriously, I've wrecked far more motorcycles and an arm more than I have a car. I've only wrecked a car once. I've been rear-ended once. I've been in multiple car wrecks. That's the other story I should tell, is how, oh god, my brother wrecking cars. Honestly, the stupid things my brothers have done probably far outweigh the number of things I've done. But since I was actually involved in this car wreck, I'm going to tell you how my brother wrecked. What the hell was the car called? I forgot what kind of car it was. I keep wanting to say it's a Nissan, but I know that's not right. I think it was a 4. And it used to be my grandmother's on my dad's side. Somehow he ended up with it. I forgot how. And we used it to go back and forth to school, and he would also drive me around town. It was a good time. We used to live in this small little town in Missouri called Hillsboro. Again, it's not a thing I recommend. Now, I'm a good driver. My older brother is not. Or at least at this time, he wasn't. Like, he would scare everyone who ever rode with him. Like, one story I remember my mom telling was how, like, God, they were driving to or from somewhere. And he was waiting to take a left-hand turn. He had his blinker on. Then all of a sudden, my mom hears him yell, "I'm going for it!" And he just floors it to try to get in front of all the cars. This is the skill of the person that I am currently riding with. This had to have been after I broke my arm, because yeah, it had to have been after I broke my arm, because we weren't living with my mom's boyfriend at the time. They had split up. But we would drive back and forth to school. We would also go to where he worked. He actually worked at a Hardee's at this time, which is probably where my love for Hardee's actually came in, which, by the way, I don't really get to eat anymore because I currently weightlift, I currently bodybuild, I also am trying to become a certified personal trainer, and it doesn't look good when your personal trainer eats freaking hamburgers. Back to the story, though. We were driving home from his girlfriend's house. So we'd go there, we'd hang out, we'd all play video games, we'd play soccer from time to time. Me and my older brother were actually trying to start a band at the time. So we'd go back and forth to this house to try to, talk to band members. It was a place we could practice. His girlfriend's mom really didn't care. It was a good time. And we were driving home, and we were basically passing in front of the high school. In front of the high school, there's just like this little hill, and it goes up just a little bit. And it's hard to see anyone who passes in front of that. And there were a bunch of houses on either side of the road. So at any point, the speed limit on this road wasn't really all that fast, because there was the potential in this one area to where if somebody had to stop to make a turn, you were going to rear end them. You can kind of see where this is going. But here in Missouri, we don't know what speed limits are. By the way, obey the speed limits. So we're about to go over the hill. My older brother's driving a little fast. I'm not really paying that much attention either, because I'm not the driver. Next thing I know, we look up. My immediate reaction is to slam on the brakes, even though I'm in the passenger seat, sorry. And for some reason, my older brother doesn't notice that a car has come to a dead stop in front of us. I noticed it before he did. I hear the squealing of brakes, then all of a sudden I hear a large bang, and suddenly my hat's missing and there's an airbag in my face. The car smells like smoke, I'm pumped full of adrenaline, I've got a pain in my shoulder, I can't find my hat, and the first word out of my older brother's mouth is, "Hey, I guess the airbags work." We get out, we assess the damage. The entire front of the car is caved in. Imagine like just crushing a soda can. That's what the front of this car looked like. The other lady's bumper, perfectly fine. We assess the damage. I don't know what happened as far as insurance and all that goes, because I wasn't really that concerned with it. It's not my car. I was just more concerned about how we were going to do band practice, see my girlfriend, all that stuff. That event stuck with me because every time my mom had to put on the brakes in the car, like I would have like Vietnam style flashbacks to that event and like try to slam on the brake for her. That was a hard thing to get over. It took me forever, but I eventually got over it. There you go. A couple of stories for car wrecks to celebrate 1,000 subscribers. And don't forget about the live stream that'll be happening on I think Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. And if you guys want to be a part of that, let me know and submit your Library of Runa / Lobotomy Corporation characters to the gallery in The Sims 4, and I'll play it. Just remember, try hard not to have any like expansions or stuff like that, because I haven't bought any new expansions or anything like that in recent years. I think the last one I purchased was the Pets one and the Climates one. I think that's it. And also, thank you guys so much for subscribing to the channel. I can't believe we finally made it. Yes! It's an uphill battle from here. I know it, but I'm going to celebrate every little milestone I can. And, yeah. Let me know what you guys want to see for 2,000 subscribers, because I guarantee we'll probably hit that before you know it. You can leave that in the comment section down below, or you can check out, if this is the first time you're seeing me, which, strange, because I doubt YouTube's going to promote this. Check out the link in the description below for Discord, if that's what you're interested in. And for those of you who are returning subscribers, or if you're new, doesn't matter, check out the links in the description below for Coffee and Patreon if you want to accelerate my career here on a YouTube. On a YouTube? Why did I say that? But if you want to accelerate my career here on YouTube, make it to where I can do this as a full-time job faster, that's honestly the best way to do it. Like, comment, share, convince your friends to subscribe. Convince them by strapping them to a chair and duct taping their eyes open so that they have to watch, and make them click all the like buttons and all that stuff and leave comments. Or not. Probably not, because YouTube frowns upon stuff like that. But yeah, maybe share this video with your friends in a more healthy way than that. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed it, feel free to show me some love down below by hitting the like button, and don't forget to check out the annotations for more videos. Now we'll see you in the next video.